Oh, I need coffee for this video. It's recording, and I'm making coffee. I can't really start the video yet because I'm brewing coffee, and you need to watch me drink something special as a part of the video, and I'm brewing coffee, so we're waiting. Incidentally, these glasses are for effect, so if I need to make a point, I can say something to you and then go, and then really say the thing that I need to say. Still brewing. I'm only brewing a cup. 1 cup. I don't even want coffee. I just feel like I have to drink it for this video. I lied. I really do want the coffee. The Wall Street Journal. I could read to you something. Trump in fraud trial spars with judge, defends business. Israel deepens push into Gaza City. Intel is the leading candidate to potentially receive billions of dollars in government funding. That's my money. For secure facilities producing microchips. Are there any other kind? And dip. That was a dad joke. There's no dip. For U.S. military and intelligence applications, according to people familiar with the development. Sounds like the coffee is nearly done. I'm going to go retrieve it, and while I'm retrieving it, you can listen to this. Hello, children of Florida and other children out there who may or may not be listening. This is your father speaking, the Top T, and today, as any good father would do, I'm going to help your young minds that are full of mush by teaching you how to think about some things. But first, as we all know, it's vitally important that I have something warm and caffeinated to drink. Let me punctuate this moment with the removal of the eyeglass. Coffee, my favorite. Years ago, I was fortunate enough to have a saxophone teacher in college that taught me how to practice, which was a form of how to think. Young people often think, but they are never really taught how to think or how to contextualize or how to consider a thing or consider an idea. And so they think through the lens of social hierarchy rather than through the lens of an actual truth. What do I mean by this? Well, I'm glad you asked. Let's talk about work. Younger people think about work in terms of importance or social hierarchy. I'm doing an important job. I'm doing a less important job. I'm doing a job that provides me status. I'm in finance. I'm in business. I'm in industry. I run something. I'm a doctor. I'm a lawyer. I'm an engineer. I schlep essential oils, whatever. Or I do a job that has less prestige and therefore is somehow lesser. I'm lesser, it's less honorable, such as I'm taking out the trash, I'm mopping the floor, I'm dusting off the toilet bowl. Don't dust the toilet bowl. But you get the idea. In your lives, you're going to end up doing jobs that you love and other jobs that you hate. But the reasons you hate them are probably wrong. In your lives, you're probably going to work with people that you love working with and work for people that you love working for. But you're also going to work with and for people that you despise. And it's because of these realities that I'm going to teach you how to think about work so that you are not unnecessarily burdened with thoughts of stress or stressful thoughts, anxiety-ridden thoughts at the end of your day, at the end of your business day, because you're so mad at blah, 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 Mr. or Mrs. Boss. You are so mad at blah, blah, blah job that you have to do that's not as cool or important as the jobs that maybe somebody else is doing. I think the first thing you need to know is that grown-ups and people you should respect find all work honorable. Meaning, the guy taking out the trash is not somehow lesser than the guy who's the CEO of the company. Here's a truth, and here's how to think about work. All work is honorable, whether you're working at a McDonald's or whether you're running a multinational company. All work is honorable. There's a great Bible verse that says, whatever you do, do as unto the Lord. Do your work as unto the Lord. Here's what that means. It means that your work is a precious, almost a prayer offering, and it's kind of a private, what you're doing, the quality of what you're doing is a private thing between you, the task, and God. Meaning you're working as if you're doing it for God as an act of worship. So you're doing excellent work, you're doing it with care, you're doing it thoughtfully, you're doing it excellent. And so in a sense, it doesn't matter if you're taking out the trash or doing something quote unquote more important. It's just that all work is honorable and all work is done as unto the Lord. So if you have a shit boss or somebody that you don't like in your life telling you what to do, they're irrelevant. You're doing quality work because you're the kind of person that does quality work. Has nothing to do with whose mouth the task came out of. Has everything to do with, I do work in accordance with, not you told me to, not it's good or bad work. I do work in accordance with my personal character. Meaning you're saying to yourself and to God and to the world, I'm the kind of person who does excellent work. And I will knock it out of the park. If it's doing a dish or taking out a trash or building a spreadsheet or leading a team of people, I will knock it out of the park because I'm doing work as unto the Lord. I'm trying to please God and myself and trying to raise the bar in my own personal quality and efficacy. I hope that makes sense. So when somebody says, oh, that job sucks, maybe it does suck, but don't look at it through the lens of, is it honorable or not? It's definitely honorable. Also, all work is under somebody, meaning, oh, people say I want to be my own boss. You're not your own boss. If you work for somebody, you have one boss. If you're your own boss, you've got dozens of people telling you what to do because those are called customers. You're getting money from somewhere. And so you have to please every single customer on your database and your list, and some of those people won't be happy with you. Imagine having 50 bosses or 50,000 bosses, and at any given time, 50,000 bosses, 5,000 of them think you're an idiot. So everybody serves someone or serves something, and so all work is an act of service. A lot of people think they're going to be the boss, meaning they get to be in charge, they get to lord over people, they get to be the important one, they get to be the dictator of the company, but nothing is further from the truth. The higher you go, the more you're responsible for, and the more people that you are in service to. So some people will be a joy to serve, other people will be a pain in the ass to serve, and the pain in the ass ones are a reminder that your work is between you, the task, and God, and they are irrelevant. So that's a little bit about how to think about work. Let me talk about how to do work. You have to be in the work. There's an old Zen cone. Actually, it's not a cone. I think I read it years ago in the Zen and the Art of Motorcycle Maintenance. Great book. The student was at the master's house, the Zen Buddhist master's house, and the student was at his house, and the master invited him to do dishes. And so the student was doing the dishes, and the master asked him a very important question, which was, are you doing the dishes to get done, or are you doing the dishes to do the dishes? And what that means is, are you thinking about what's next, or is your mind in the task that you're currently in? If you're doing the dishes to do the dishes, congratulations, you're living life. If you're doing the dishes to finish, you're not living life. You're living in the future. It doesn't exist yet. You're disconnected. So you do the thing with excellence and to competence. Sometimes we have to slow down and embrace the task at hand. My saxophone teacher in college taught me how to practice, and then how to practice, a big component of that was slow down and do the thing that is troubling to you in the music. Don't play over the parts you already know. And how do you know if something is performance ready? It's when you've reached unconscious competence. When you're doing your job, when you're doing your task, you have 4 stages of development. And when you've reached the fourth stage, you are public ready, you are performance ready, you are world class, you're an expert, you're awesome at it. Obviously the first stage, and I'm sure you've read this somewhere, and if you haven't, what are the schools teaching you? First stage is unconscious incompetence, which means you just don't know that you don't know. That means you've never seen a bicycle before, so you don't even know if you could or couldn't ride a bike because you've never seen one. But the day you see somebody riding a bike and it dawns on you, I don't know how to ride a bike, that's when you've reached conscious incompetence. You know that you're not bright at the thing that maybe you want to do. So then you get on the bike, you fall, you get up, you fall, you get up, you fall, and then eventually you're riding the bike and you have achieved conscious competence. You know that you know how to ride a bike and you're conscious. And also what that means is that your life is tedious because you're not thinking about anything other than keeping that thing up. Your mind is in bike riding, and so you're conscious and you're competent. A lot of musicians get to that stage where they're thinking what note is next, right? And technically they get everything right. A lot of times in your work, technically you get everything right. That means you're consciously competent, but you're not done yet. There's a point where you just ride the bike and you're not thinking about riding the bike. You're unconsciously competent. You don't have to engage your brain to ride the bicycle anymore. You've transcended the task. If you're a musician, it's, I could play through this concert and go through my grocery list in my head. As soon as I can think about other things and I can detach my mind from the thing at hand, I'm good at it. I'm world class at that song or whatever it is. Maybe not world class, but you get the idea. You're unconsciously competent. Same thing with your work. If you suck at your work, that means you need to be consciously competent first and get your head in the game. You ever hear that from a coach? Get your head in the game. Well, there comes a point where your head doesn't even have to be in the game. You just flow. And that comes from practice and ingraining it and doing it over and over and over, and you're so good at it, everything in your life is muscle memory. So work is honorable. Work is something that you need to get unconsciously competent at. And work is something that's between you, the task, it's almost private, between you, the task, and God. And it's about you and the kind of work that you are known for doing. Your name is attached to how you do work. That's all I have for now. Remember, like, subscribe, ding that notification bell. Write your posers queries, questions, interrogatories down below. This is your father speaking from colorful Colorado, where youth meets opportunity, and you yahoos will be listening to this in that flaccid state of Florida, where old people go to die, middle-aged people hit the ever fair but unforgiving wall. Love you guys. You and I will talk again soon.